Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look as part of our GM's Day sale on DriveThruRPG at Cepheus Deluxe by Stellagama Publishing. This neat little book, it's a reissue of a book that was out last year. This one's a little bit different. I'll show you some of the differences between the two, and we'll take a look at this book. And I'll let you know what you can get the PDF for on DriveThruRPG from now through March 14th as part of the GM's Day sale. So it's a nifty little book. We're going to take a good look at it. Also, subscribers, please. Subscriptions have slowed down a little bit. I'm not sure why, but they have. So if you've been on the fence, come on in. We talk about games here a lot. Anything that keeps the channel growing. I want to keep being able to do these videos. Also, I have a Patreon going right now to all my patrons. Thank you. If you could take a look at that, I do offer rewards on it. Take a look and see if there's anything you can do to help out there. That's it. End of the commercial. Back to the important stuff. The Cepheus Deluxe book by Stellagama Publishing. Today on page 121. Cepheus Deluxe, science fiction role-playing game. This particular book is written by Omer Golan Joel, Richard Hazelwood, Josh Peters, and Robert Ellis Weaver. This brought us by Stellagama Publishing. I want to thank the folks at Stellagama for sending this my way to take a look at. I was pretty intrigued when this came out. This was a recent Kickstarter. And the idea was they had enhanced a book they had just published. This guy came out earlier this year and is reworking of this book, also sent me by Stellagama, which is the Cepheus Deluxe, the original one that came out last year. And the difference between the two books is this original one is in black and white with fewer illustrations and non-colored tables. The new edition is more professionally laid out and has pretty tables and a little more artwork, and it's all in color. So big changes as far as I'm concerned. We're going to take a look at this. I want to let you know you can get this book on PDF from DriveThruRPG for $8.49, marked down from $9.99. This goes through March 14th. And the print on demand on this guy, where you get the PDF and a hardcover, is $28.54, marked down from $38.53. So pretty good deals there for some really good books. I've enjoyed these. I have been around with Cepheus since it started. When Traveller went into the open gaming license in about 2008, I always hung around all the drive-through pages, and I grabbed what I could of these. When I started up the channel, I also like to focus on these. Even if you're just playing Traveller, you're not playing any Cepheus engine, there's a ton of ideas to take out of any of these Cepheus books, so I do recommend them. If you have this edition, however, you have all the same information in here as in the new one. The big difference, as I said, is the layout and the color. There's minor editing differences, things like that, but it's a little more professionally laid out, which is what they said when they did the Kickstarter. They were going to go for a more professional look, a more professional layout, and I think they succeeded. So we'll take a look through this book right now. All right, this is a very pretty book. This is very well done by these guys at Stellagama. I really like what they did. The cover art is by Maximilian Schmucker. It's just nice. There's a nice retro flavor to this edition, this Cepheus version, that I really, really enjoy. A kind of a retro 50s, 60s kind of feel. We get a nice table of contents here. And then Cepheus Deluxe Enhanced Edition, the proper name of this tome. And it gives us what is a role-playing game, the new Cepheus compared to the old, compared to Cepheus Light, which is still around. I have Cepheus Light, but definitely if I was playing Cepheus in a serious way, this would be the book I'd go with. Rule 0, of course, the referee has final word, and fun rules all, and then some info about the authors, and basic rules. We go through the die rolling conventions. Nice, pretty artwork there. I love this one. It looks like the two guys are just kind of looking at each other going, can you believe she just said that? I really like this. We take a look at our skills. This is all, if you've been through Cepheus, this is all very familiar territory. If it's also, because Cepheus is derived from Traveller, it's also familiar with Traveller. The nice thing is all the stuff from Cepheus can go to Traveller, and all the stuff from Traveller can come back to Cepheus. A nice restatement of the cover. I love the flying saucers that are involved in this Cepheus game. I love the old movies, you know, The Day the Earth Stood Still, all that fun stuff. Gotta enjoy a good flying saucer, right? So here we get the character career paths, starting out with Agent, Army, Belter. I like Belter as its own class. In other games, it's not. It's just a subclass. But I like the idea of a Belter. That's very old school Traveler to me. We have Colonist, Elite, Marine, Merchant. Did I skip a page? Nope. Marine, Merchant, Navy, Pirate, Rogue, Scholar, and a Scout. And then various life event tables for each. And then mustering out benefits, prison event table. Now, Cepheus Deluxe uses stamina and lifeblood. Rather than having your characteristics be taken down by injury, you use basically a set of hit points called stamina and lifeblood. It's kind of neat. I've played it both ways. Right now, at least in my Mongoose campaign, I'm going to go to the old way of strength, dex, and endurance being your stats. And as you get injured, the stats decline. I still like lifeblood and stamina. I played it this way. I have played my campaign to this point this way, but it's a good way to do it. It's nice to have some hit points. We get a nice example character. Another example. Then we get some traits. So skill-related traits: acrobat, animal affinity, awareness, etc. Gun combat traits, melee combat traits, vehicle and spacecraft traits, and other traits. And then we get a nice look at equipment. This is where I love these books because it's sometimes I'll read something in here and it'll be something I hadn't thought about, and it'll just kind of pop out here and I'll go, oh yeah, I can incorporate that into what I'm doing. Cybernetics. I always enjoy cybernetics in science fiction. We get a nice look at personal equipment, and then more cybernetics, higher grade cybernetics, exploration and personal equipment, pharmaceuticals, cat sight. I like that. Grants its user night vision for up to 12 hours. Robots. Gotta love some robots in science fiction. They're a staple. Vehicles. Here we have groundcraft, watercraft, aircraft, grav vehicles, all written out for you, ready to go. Plug into your game. Weapons. Yeah, I'm one of those guys that jumps to the weapons usually. I just enjoy them in science fiction games. There we go. And then hazards. Fatigue, disease and poison, extreme temperatures, fire, falling, radiation, starvation and dehydration, suffocation, and vacuum exposure. That's pretty cool. I always like hazards in a science fiction game. They're plentiful. It's something you have to be aware of, and as a GM, you can throw in the player's path. Personal and vehicle combat. All the stats for that. Vehicle combat and chases, because what's a science fiction game without some kind of chase? Chases are tough to do in science fiction games because they tend to be instantly fatal if one of your players falls out of the vehicle. So you've got to be careful with chases. That being said, I love a good chase. Dogfight, foot chase, collisions, all kinds of good stuff to have here. Starship scale weaponry against vehicle targets. The vehicle go bye-bye. Now we get to psionics. Love psionics. And the clairvoyance, telekinesis, telepathy, teleportation are the disciplines. Did we have another I missed? Awareness. Yep, first one is awareness. So our disciplines are awareness, clairvoyance, telekinesis, telepathy, and teleportation. So cool. Starship operations, interplanetary travel. How do you get from here to there? Use the jump drive. And then we get a nice look at interplanetary times by acceleration. I always love a chart like this. Original Traveler and other versions of Traveler have always had these. I really like them. These are just really useful. Types of passage. ways to generate revenue with your starship, bulk freight, mail, charters, starship encounters, trade and smuggling. Let's face it, if you play any game like this, you eventually end up with trade and smuggling. There we go. Trade goods table, traffic safety and legality, price modifiers. Why is the deal gone bad table? I like that. I like the name of that table. Cargo tag table. The cargo is... And then we go to ship design using these rules. You can make up your own ships. The armor, the stealth, drives, your jump technology, your bridge. These are all simpler, stripped down rules. And by simpler, I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean easier to use. I think a nice job was done here to make it a little less crunchy for things that don't need to be as crunchy. There we go. Accommodations, carried vehicles, and then a starship design example. 300-ton light military transport design sheet. Tech level 11. Space combat. Dun, 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 dun. Space combat. Always fun. You got to be careful with it in your campaign, though. If your players have to pay for damage to their vessel, that can really eat up any ready funds or keep the vessel wandering around damaged for a long time. Space combat example. A little bit of the old piracy. Okay. I like this. It's a good long example of how to do it. Plus you got a pirate wearing an eye patch. We have some common spacecraft designs. Lots of them. That's pretty cool. World generation, star mapping, world creation. The hydrographics, population, government, law level, and starport. All things you need for this style of game. Social encounters. This is where Cepheus is really nice because you get other social encounters you might not think of. And I've applied some of these even to games like Gamma World or Star Wars. You just take them out of these books and you just kind of slap them into the other game, and they work real well. Some of these can be really fun with Gamma World. You end up with some very unexpected results, like an antiques collector or an art thief. And then xenofauna encounters. Alien animals, alien to us. And xenofauna encounter example. And then various animals, animal niche table. Sample NPCs. I always love a nice little clump of sample NPCs. That's so useful as a GM when you realize you didn't design the engineer that's going to be part of he's going to be the NPC part of the crew, and you realize you sat down to play, you didn't design him. There you go. A nice section on referee advice. I like referee advice. I've been DMing and GMing for over 40 years. I still read these sections because there's always something you haven't thought about or something you've done that maybe you wanted to do differently. Just ideas. I love ideas. Adventures for you. And then our first appendix, source and inspiration. I like these too. Sometimes you don't think about some things like that. In film, Alien and Sequel, Enemy Mine, Event Horizon, Outland, and Serenity. I've seen all those. Television, Andromeda, Babylon 5, Dark Skies, Firefly, Love, Death, and Robots, New Battlestar Galactica, Space Above and Beyond, The Expanse. It's interesting that Star Trek and Star Wars are not called out as inspiration anymore. They used to be the main ones. Universal World Profile for Appendix B. Appendix C is Cheating Death. Appendix D, Aliens. If they're not from around here, they're aliens. I like the artwork in this. I think the color adds a lot, especially into stuff like this. We're into Appendix E, Legal, for publishing your own materials. Appendix F, Schematics. And we get some nice colorized ships, little deck plans. Just a nice product. This was very solid, nice reimagining of the book that was put out last year. Here we go, a nice index. I love a good index in the back of a book. I just think this is a really well done product. If you have, let's the game license then. If you have the original, the one I showed earlier, you really don't need this. you have that information, but this format and layout are nice. They did a good job here. Cepheus Deluxe character sheet, Cepheus Deluxe with the character creation sheet all the way through, and there you go, and we're out. So this guy is, before the character sheets, 207 pages. So you're getting about 212 pages of really good quality product there, nicely reimagined, based on a little more professional layout and more color, just a nicer look. As I said, if you have this guy, you're not really going to get a lot more in this. We've been preparing for this video, I actually put the two books side by side to see if I could find any significant differences between them. And I was going page by page through, trying to find differences. The big difference is physically of the book. This one's a regular magazine size type, and this is more of a digest size. I like digest size books. Harkens back a little bit to the Little Black Books of old, but that's really a personal preference. So as I said, this guy is on sale under the GM's Day Sale, and you can get it now as a PDF for $8.49, marked down from $9.99. And then if you want to print on demand, which gets you the PDF and a hardcover, it's currently $28.54, marked down from $38.53. So pretty good deal. I'm just doing these videos by way of showing folks different opportunities they can have through the GM's Day Sale. I do not work for Drive-Thru-RPG. I do not work for Stellagama. I just like to pass on some stuff I found that I think people will find useful. So that's it for today on page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on page 121.